What's up, YouTube? Today, I have decided to put together a tier list for you, the viewer. And I have plenty more to do, but for now, this is what I'm gonna rock with. This is a starter. This is a project I've been meaning to release for a while, and it's done. So, really hope you enjoy it. This tier list is strictly my opinion. There will be jokes thrown throughout the entire thing. I hope you can handle jokes. Most of all, I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. And my only hope is that you give the video a like, subscribe, make sure to stay posted. I will be releasing videos as often as I can with the life that I have. You guys have a good one. Bye.
Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well, I'll be tarnished. Plain as a lord.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
I command thee. I am the lord of all that is golden.
And just like that, I already saw in my pants. He don't got much aura, but if you couldn't tell from the cutscene, he was about ready to throw hands. But his hands kind of slow, low-key, as I can read them pretty well, which is good, but it doesn't make him that very difficult of a boss, which is fine because he's the first remembrance boss that you fight in the game. However, bro got the most tragic backstory I ever seen in a boss in this game. A lot of these bosses are glorious. These bosses are gods. These bosses are legends told in tales. This guy, he ended up licking some boots. Alright, nah, bro done whipped out a blick. Nah, but for real though, he switched up so bad. Bro went from being a joke to have a f***ing dragon on his hand. He not playing this time. He'll for real put you in a coffin. Alright, enough glazing. I don't want people thinking I really f*** with bro like that. See, even the remembrance tells us that bro is weak. Attacks wise, he's fun but easy. He's rich with lore, but bro is kind of a loser. However, the voice acting, the beginner friendliness, and the music kind of ties it all in together for me, which I would make Godric a solid B.
Hush, little Calva. I'll soon birth thee anew, a sweeting, fresh and pure.
In all honesty, that's how this boss feels like, fresh and pure. And I say that because this boss fight has some of the more finer parts of a boss fight, but at the same time, it doesn't really exceed much expectations. In the first half, you're just fighting minions, like from Deacons of the Deep. It's the kind of vibe I'm getting from this boss fight, which is nice. It gives it a nice spin, but it's just not challenging.
Upon my name as Rani the Witch. Mother's rich slumber shall not be disturbed by thee. Foul trespasser. Send word far and wide of the last queen of Caria, Renala of the full moon. And the majesty of the night she conjureth.
Okay, Renala, I see you. You got a daughter that look after you, so she projects you so that way your slumber does not get disturbed. Daughter. Alright, but in all seriousness, the cutscene was really nice. I really love the setting. I mean, you're fighting in space. You see a moon in the background and basically walking on water. It's a really nice touch. I really think it's beautiful. You can see how the water moves with her spells. That's also nice too. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
However, this is where the worst parts of the boss fight start to unveil. And it's pretty apparent right now. She summons. I never liked the idea of bosses summoning other enemies. It's just annoying in my opinion.
But then she wanna go and summon a whole ass dragon? Like, what the hell? Yeah, on my first playthrough, I wasn't expecting that at all. Unless you're a pro like me, you know, this boss fight can be a little challenging. Especially if you can't deal with multiple enemies. But that's okay, because you can stun lock her, and the fight would be easy peasy. Renala's remembrance reads, in her youth, Renala was a prominent champion who charmed the academy with her lunar magic, becoming its master. She also led the Glintstone Knights and established the House of Karya as royalty. Now, with all being said and done, I think Renala is a beautiful boss fight, but not the most fun and not the most challenging either. In the grand scheme of bosses in Elden Ring, she definitely gets high B.
Champions, welcome! The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh. General Radahn, mightiest demigod of the Shattering, awaits you. A celebration of war. The Radahn Festival!
Now, we find ourselves pitted against Radahn, once the strongest of the demigods.
To think, I could face a great champion of the Shattering. A demigod in the flesh. Oh, God. In truth, I quiver at the thought. Such is his frightful repute. But the fear simply assures me the ordeal is worth undertaking.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture. General Radahn is cursed ever to wander. Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot, his wits are long gone. Now he gathers the corpses of former friends and foes alike, gorging on them like a dog. Howling at the sky.
If the introduction, if the build-up to this boss didn't get you hyped enough, I don't know what would. This fight ain't peak, but it's definitely up there. A lot of people have a debate on whether Starscourge Radahn or Promised Consort is better, but we'll discuss that later. The first phase of this boss fight is pretty cool. Start on your trusty steed, you run up to his, then you go beat his ass. Simple as that. Now, if you decided to summon the homies, you're straight. I think a lot of people like to ridicule summoning NPCs. But I don't know, to me, they kind of just add aesthetic to the fight. The raid style kind of boss fight is a big W, I ain't even gonna cap. It just adds a sense of scale in a boss fight that I think this boss fight in particular really needs. There could be other boss fights that would use this sort of raid style. I could think of a few.
Alright, I think that meteor caught us all by surprise. He flew in and then absolutely ruined my day. Back on the subject at hand, his attacks in his second phase, they're pretty badass. I ain't even going cap. They're cinematic, but they also feel kind of scripted too, which doesn't really render them easy. Don't get me wrong, this boss fight is very challenging.
That's if you do it alone, man. It definitely took me a few tries. His remembrance reads, the Red Lion General wielded gravitational powers which he learned in Celia during his younger days. Also, he would never have to abandon his beloved but scrawny steed. Can I just mention how much of a Chad Radon is in lore? However, I feel like his freaking lore just got done dirty because of the DLC. But the cinematic nature of this boss, the hype to this boss, the attacks of this boss, the design of this boss makes him S tier for me. The Regal Ancestor spirit is beautiful. A good chunk of the attacks are beautiful. The music, beautiful. However, this boss lacks difficulty. This boss lacks, well, it's a repeat. A lot of the Remembrance bosses we'll be talking about here have some uniqueness to them, which makes them more memorable overall. However, the only thing I can remember is how similar this boss fight is to the previous one. I can really see why Lil Bro doesn't escape the heat. I mean, this boss is pretty generic. So with everything considered, and on top of the fact that I personally just am fond of this boss, I mean, I really just kind of like it, I'm gonna put it at mid-B. Mid-B sounds like a good spot for it. I forgot to read the Remembrance, but the Remembrance, low-key, is just a bunch of hippie bullcrap. This boss fight is so mid. It low-key get me snoring every time I come to this place. Especially after the Scarlet Rot. Oh my goodness. I mean, at least the arena is pretty tight though, and some of the attacks are pretty cool too. However, I didn't want to see a fucking massive ass centipede as soon as I got done with the stupid dungeon. I thought Miyazaki was gonna have something worse in tail for me, but hey, this'll do. The quest line that takes you through this boss makes sense, I guess, for the most part. However, it just feels like a bump in the road. Its remembrance is nothing to take note of, just a thing that came from outer space only to take a city sky. This meteor attack is the only cool attack it has. I don't really enjoy this boss. I would throw this baby in a lower tier if I could. However, it does have a little cool factor to it, so it's going to be C. Fortisax is just another one of those bosses where he just spawns in. There's no build up, like no crazy anticipation to be fighting this boss, which isn't necessary, and he's not the only one that gets this kind of treatment, but overall, you're not missing out on much. Just the same ancient dragon boss fight that you typically find throughout the entire game, but he does have this really cool move he does. Ignore my butt getting beaten there. But anyways, he's a decent boss. I mean, he has some uniqueness. He has a couple of cool moves, plus he has black scales instead of the typical white scales. Not much else I could say about this boss. B tier.
Very well. Join the Serpent King as remedy. Together we will devour the very god.
Rekard is a very interesting boss. There's a lot of cinematic nature to this boss that kind of just leave my jaw on the floor sometimes. In the first phase, you're fighting an incredibly large snake. Forget I said it that way, but in all seriousness, the first phase really sets the tone of the fight. You got the large pillars in the room full of grotesque bodies, the chandeliers, the lava. Like I said, it sets the tone pretty well for the upcoming fight against Rykard, whom, by the way, is a spectacle in and of its own. You can say he's gimmicky and very easy, which you're not wrong, but if you're under level for his fight, he gon' definitely pack a punch. But then he be summoning these flaming skulls with fireballs, and I feel like that's when the fight starts to really pick up. This goes on for quite a while, and it could be a pain in the ass. It can also increase the intensity of the fight. It feels like it's leading up to my impending doom. I don't know how Jit survived that. The music is something to take note of too, as, you know, I think it suits the fight pretty well. He's villainous, he's blasphemous, it's in the name. His remembrance reads, Rykard took the form of a giant serpent so that he might devour, grow, and live eternally. I understand the road of blasphemy is long and perilous. One cannot walk it unprepared to sin. Now, with all being said, I think Rykard deserves S tier.
Graceless, tarnished. What is thy business with these thrones? Thy kind are all of a piece. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition. Have it writ upon thy meager grave. Felled by King Morgoth, last of all kings.
And just when I thought I was gonna take the Elden throne, bro just comes up and says, nah, what you think this was, Goofy? Thinking you was gonna take the Elden throne? Best be ready to catch these hands. Moment I stepped in the ring, I knew not to mess with bro. However, on my first playthrough, I saw how much damage I could do to his health bar, and then I started obliterating bro. It wasn't until subsequent playthroughs when I realized this boss has a lot more to him than I had initially thought. Bro has some of the coolest combos I had ever seen in a boss in this game. I mean, just look at how satisfying it is to dodge all these moves.
Yeah, boy.
Overall, a good first phase. The moves are satisfying, the music is satisfying, but then comes the second phase.
Thy part in this shall not be forgiven.
Alright, well that's enough of that. Alright, so after all the butt kicking in the first half, he comes back in the second half and tells you, nah bro, you ain't getting on this throne. Bro goes Super Saiyan in a desperate attempt to not let you pass. Whoa, 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 hey.
What the fuck?
Oh nah bro, did y'all see that? That was what I was talking about right there. The fact that he can evade, do flips, and do all sorts of moves kind of just makes him a more satisfying boss to fight. It's really a spectacle to take in. Such a thing I would expect from a freaking demigod. His moves are so incredible, he pulls out shit like this. And he ain't afraid to show off. His remembrance reads, though born one of the graceless omen, Morgoth took it upon himself to become the Erdtree's protector. He loved, not in return, for he was never loved. But nevertheless, love it he did. Man, I don't know which is more tragic, being an embarrassment to your entire bloodline or never being loved by your bloodline. I know I don't talk about lore much aside from the remembrances, but bro is like the Batman to Langdale. With all said and done, Morgoth is an incredible boss. Everything from his dialogue, from his lore, to his moveset, it's all incredible and dynamic, and I really hope that Elden Ring in the future makes more bosses like these. Intense, dramatic, terrifying, everything that could culminate into an S-tier boss. Hey everybody, hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. FYI, this is a 3-parter. The reason is because I'm doing all the editing on my phone and it's taking up more time than I thought, more storage space than I thought. It's an entire process, but I'll try to get the videos out as soon as I can for you guys. Love you guys so much. Thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next one.